Hello and welcome to another edition of the Tipsy Beekeeper. Today we're going with just a Bud Light because it's a nice, wonderful afternoon. So I wanted to do a story on the Empire Hive and how I got started with beekeeping. I've always been fascinated by bees. I've always wanted to keep bees ever since I was a kid. I'm very fascinated by insects, periodly, and just especially the colony type insects and how well and efficiently they run themselves. And bees even more so in the fact of how efficient they are, but how many different things that their little bodies are capable of doing. So it's always been on my agenda to keep bees, but I had kids, and so their hobbies and their interests and their activities has always came before. And I always said, when the kids get older and they get grown up, I'm gonna start keeping bees. I'm gonna start keeping bees. Well, my kids are older now, but they're not out of the house yet. And hold on. Gotta love a cold Bud Light. So, COVID comes along, and I get furloughed from my job. At first, I'm doing all the projects and stuff I can around the house, but eventually it gets to the point that I have to stop doing the projects because I got one trying to crawl up my sleeve, so I'm just distracted there for a second. Alright, she's no longer crawling up my sleeve. I did all the projects I could around the house, and eventually I ran out of money. And so I was just trying to keep myself busy and trying to keep myself positive. But one day went into the next day, and now granted I was watching tons and tons of YouTube videos on beekeeping, which was really entertaining, but it made me jealous because I wanted to do it. So finally I said to my wife, I was like, forget it, I'm pulling the trigger, pull out the emergency credit card, and I am going to buy myself some bees and get started in beekeeping because I need some positivity in my life. I need something to look forward to in my life. So the Empire Hive started, and they're called the Empire Hive because I like Star Wars, and I think the emblem looks really cool on the hive box. And not only that, but I wanted this really strong hive that just dominated everything and just produced so much honey. And I always had that picture of the Star Destroyers where in the bottom they open up and all the TIE fighters come out and attacking everybody and just going after the honey. So I joined a local bee club and got myself a mentor, which he's been absolutely great and given me tons of information. Bought my equipment, bought my bees from the club, and got them started. When I originally bought them, though, I didn't get a queen with them. I just got a plain nuke box, which is 5 frames of bees and some brood in it. But the club, my mentor, he was going to bring me a queen from South Carolina. He's got over 100 hives and makes his own queens. So he was going to bring me one of his genetically awesome queens. So for 2 weeks, I'm waiting for my queen to come, and me and my wife, we'd come outside and we'd sit by the hive box and drink a glass of wine and watch them come and go. And it was nice and peaceful. Especially in the fact of it was just a couple of bees would come, a couple of bees would go, nothing real exciting or anything like that. And I just thought that that's how they were. Now this was like 4 months ago, well into the middle of summer. I didn't know what beehives would be like and how they would look. So 2 weeks go by, and my friend comes and brings me my queen bee, and I have her in a little queen cage. Which I show some video of that, and I put her inside the hive for 2 days, come back and check in 2 days, and the bees had released her, which basically she's just in this little plastic cage that has a sugar cap that the bees eat it and release her out, so that way they can all get to know each other before she gets released, and they get to know her smells. So 2 days go by, and all I could picture in my head was the stormtroopers after Darth Vader came on to the Death Star and told them that this space station will be operational.
I'm here to put you back on schedule. Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them.
because the bees were booming. It's like she came and she was Darth Vader and she put their butts in gears. Because it was no longer just one or two bees coming and going or anything like that. I mean, it was just hundreds of bees coming and going non-stop from the hive. So she really whipped them into shape and told them what to do and when to do it and how to do it. So yeah, that's the start of my Empire Hive. At this point in time, we're 4 or 5 months in it, and there's about 60,000 bees in those boxes behind me. The queen has absolutely blown up with the amount of eggs that she's been producing, and their whole top box is full of honey, which I'm not harvesting any of that right now just because it's the Florida winter time, even though it's like, I don't know, 78 degrees right now. It's a nice warm day. I mean, I'm out in shorts and a t-shirt. Gotta love Florida winters. So that's my story of the Empire Hive and how I got them. And they're doing wonderful for me, and they give me something to look forward to and happiness. So, yeah, that's my story. So, from the Tipsy Beekeeper, till next time, bottoms up.
Now witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.